All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Moon Day. Happy spring. How's everybody doing? Are you excited that we're now in a new season of spring? We're springing forward with vitality and life, and the light is returning. We've had a sacred holiday. The sun is now in Aries officially, so happy birthday to all the Aries soul sisters and soul brothers out there. If it's your birthday coming up, definitely hit me up for a solar return reading so we could see what's going on for you this year and what part of your chart is activated. Where's your soul's growth this year? That's what happens in a solar return. It's really fun. I love doing solar return birthday readings, especially for myself, because what happens in a solar return oracle reading is the sun returns to the exact placement of degree and minute in the sky that it was when you were born. And then what happens is the sun activates you for a year of growth, and depending on what time exact that is, it creates a chart, and that chart shows me what's activated in your natal chart for this year. And when you focus on that, it becomes your springboard for an amazing year of power, growth, joy, happiness. And we can see where the areas of life you're going to work on. We can see where your sweet spots are. And when you flow in that slipstream of knowing what you can move through powerfully and knowing where your resource, where the slipstream is, where you don't have to swim so hard, that's the power of a solar return. And I love this time of year because the sun is exalted in the sign of Aries, right? So Aries is such a fun time to get empowered and strong and strength. And so we just had spring equinox yesterday morning, and everybody was celebrating on a Sunday, right? So Sundays are ruled by the sun, and the sun's exalted in Aries. So I was really excited that spring equinox occurred on a Sunday. So that portends auspiciousness, as well as the moon itself was in Libra, which is the opposite sign of Aries, which creates that moon energy as a full moon throughout this whole year. So we've got a really powerful zodiac year ahead that doesn't totally start until March 31st, April 1st, with the new moon in Aries. But today I wanted to come in. I'm going to come in live a couple times this week because I have something special to share with you. And I want to give you, show you, why it's important and how you can start using this information and the insights in your life right now, right today. Make it easy, keep it simple, right? So today is Monday, and our day is ruled by the moon. And with spring equinox yesterday, and the moon was in Libra, so to me, this week has a real karmic destiny energetic to it as we wind down 2021 and say goodbye and kiss it free. So we get ready for the new zodiac year coming at the end of the month. And what's really interesting, I'm going to be talking about this more too, but I want to give you a little glimpse into the frequency of 2022 zodiac year that begins with the new moon in Aries on March 31st. The Sabian symbol is a flock of wild geese flying in V formation. So a flock of wild geese flying when you look up to the sky and you see the geese flying, and they're flying in their V, right? And so what that symbol is about is that we are all leaders and we are all followers, and that we will take turns throughout 2022 to take a lead and take turns to be in the back, right? And be a follower as well. So we're going to be taking turns throughout this whole year. And so we're going to get very good at getting maybe more comfortable being a leader, as well as being more comfortable being a follower and knowing who to follow, right? Who's your flock? Who's, birds of a feather flock together. It's a very Aquarian symbol. So who's in your tribe? Who's in your flock, right? Who are the birds that have the same feathers as you, right? Because that's who you want to be flying in V formation with, and that's who you're going to be taking turns with, leading and following, right? And the leader has to know where the flock needs to go. And then if you're a follower, you have to strengthen the flock's ability to fly to where it's going. So it's a beautiful, amazing year ahead for humanity, where we're going to be getting very good at leading and following. And I think that that's a really powerful place for us in our evolution, as learning how to work together in peace and harmony. Now, speaking of harmony, here we go. This is why I wanted to come live today, is I want to bring more harmony into your life, because what is harmony? Harmony is when things flow together, right? Right? When people get along, when things are in alignment and they merge and they become stronger together, okay? So I wanted to let you know I have a special thing happening, and I'm very excited for it to take off at the beginning of the Zodiac year. And it's a tuning fork workshop. So I'm offering a workshop every month at a very affordable price. And it's designed for the community to strengthen us to be leaders and followers, to strengthen us to work together. But first, how we do that in the bigger picture is we want to make sure our inner world is flowing, aligned, harmonic, balanced, resourced, healthy, vital, and free. So the way that I've discovered so far that works for me, and it may work for you, is my tuning forks help me stay in harmony. They help me stay balanced. Now, what is harmony? It's not static. It doesn't stay the same. It's our universe is constantly moving. And what I've noticed this year with the incoming kind of more solar flare activity is we're getting changes into our environment, where our planet is getting, these bursts of the sun, and we call it a flare, right? And it comes and it hits our environment and it changes it. And so we have to be adaptable to those really high frequency changes. Our bodies itself are a little bit more dense, like you saw in that graphic I posted last week. The ability for the human body to absorb energy is pretty low, right? As compared to the sun, which is really, high, like a star, because our sun is a star. So our bodies are asking to be quickened so that we can hold more energy like a star. There was a really cute Buddha doodle. I'm going to have to share it, but it said, "Let your inner sun shine." And I was like, wow, that really speaks to me about what I'm feeling called to help my community with sound and being vitalized, healthy, harmonic, balanced, to be able to handle these oncoming energy bursts so that our physical bodies can calibrate it, can adapt with it. Now, if our bodies are kind of hanging out at a lowered frequency of not a lot of vitality, it's going to be much harder to absorb these flares, these bursts of solar energy. And our bodies really want to be able to hang with that. And so how do we do that? Now, I just want to go over three things before I close the live today, and just saying hi to everybody. So basically, what is sound? I'm going to give you three ways to connect to the idea of what is sound, so you can absorb it for yourself, and then you can share it with another person. So sound itself is basically light slowed down an octave. So when you think of light, or the sun's light, or light when you're meditating, you're bringing light in your body, sound is that same thing slowed down an octave. And then we hear it. So when we hear sound with our tuning forks, and we're like, wow, sounds so good. What I'm listening to is light. Sound is light, slowed down an octave, so that we can hear light. So that, number one, what is sound? Sound is light, slowed down. Number two, sound is harmony, harmonics. It's entrainment. So if you're in Nancy Cooper's Healing the Witches Win support group, her sister Carly, one of our lunar ladies, I love you, Carly, you're so great. She's an engineer. So she has a very amazing scientific mind that can understand reality and through that lens. And she shared how her mind was blown with what is quantum physics. And at the quantum, everything exists as a wave and a particle, right? A wave and a subatomic particle of that wave. But what changes a wave and a particle at the quantum is when we observe it, right? Then it splits it, and whatever we're observing is manifesting based on what we're perceiving from our inner universe, or our inner lens, or our inner way of understanding ourselves in relationship to other things. And so when we look at sound, it's harmonics. It's existing at a frequency beyond our kind of perception of reality when we're in the 3D, which is a little bit more concerned with light and shadow, right? And it separates. But when we look at sound as harmonics, I move it into what becomes the next frequency lower of sound, which is blueprints, harmonic blueprints, which create our physical form. And so when we look at sound as light coming down to sound, the next level down is the blueprint. And so sound becomes harmonic blueprints that create form in the physical world. And when we observe it, we can change that form. So literally you create what you're focusing on. And then finally, what is sound? Being light slowed down, harmonics that create blueprints. And the next aspect of sound is the wave function of sound and how it travels. So think of in the ocean, you're in the ocean and you hear whale sounds, and you look around and you're like, I don't see whales, because they could be miles away, but the sound is traveling in a wave formation in the microcosm of the water, and the water carries the sound. So when you think of sound, think of waves. And when waves hit something solid, it moves its energy and absorbs. Either it trains and brings that solid energy up to the hertz value of the wave of that sound, or it dissipates, right, and moves out and changes. So think of sound as waves of harmony, that it's really light, and it's really connected to your original blueprint of yourself when you're all in your original essence harmonic design. So when I look at tuning forks, what do they do to help us connect to sound? Is that they're already existing in harmony at a certain frequency, and they work through waves, which your body itself is really light, sound, waves slowed down so it can hold a form. And so when you know the map of the body, of the energy body, where there's rivers in the body, there's ley lines and sacred spots and portals in the body. When you take a harmonic tool like a tuning fork that's tuned to the vibration of the sound of Om, which the body recognizes as home, and you put that on a sacred spot, a chakra, an acupuncture point, a meridian, you're tracing, opening up channels in the body, you're opening them up to recalibrate them to a state of harmonic balance. And just imagine your physical body being opened up, recalibrated to a higher state of balance. Do you think that that moment you'll be able to absorb a higher frequency and adjust to it and adapt to it? You'll do that with much more ease and grace. So let's go into the solar flare. Why do we feel fatigued and dizzy and ears ringing and things like that? It's because our vehicle, our physical body, is not able to adapt as quickly to these big shifts and changes coming in from the sun. Now, if our energy body is open and flowing, and a big burst of sun or light comes in, I think our bodies will be able to be more open and freely to connect and adapt and adjust and calibrate with that much more easily. So you won't feel the fatigue, the weariness, the depression, or the ear ringing, or the dizziness, the vertigo. That lessens because your body's able to absorb more and adjust more quicker because it has more vitality. So that's what sound is, and why we could use sound in our life now, because in 2022, or really the decade of 2020s, we're going to have more light activity. Why? Because our Earth, which is part of a solar system, which is part of our sun, is moving into the photon belt. What's the photon belt? It's like a highway of light. So normally where we are in our Milky Way galaxy, we're kind of exist more in the galactic night, is what they say. But as we have, galactic years, which are 26,000 year frequencies, and they change, and the age of Aquarius and the age of Leo is where the photon belt is most existing in our galaxy. So we're moving towards the constellation of Aquarius. That means we're moving towards the photon belt. And when we move towards the photon belt, there's more light available to us. So imagine like a nocturnal animal that's used to existing and living in the dark, right? But as things change, that animal has to adapt to being able to live in the light. And I feel like that's what's happening to not only in our galaxy and our solar system and on our planet, but to all the species alive on the planet, especially humanity. So to me, what's been being shown is that we have an ability, and we have plenty of modalities to really be in service to our physical bodies to be able to adapt to the coming changes. So with sound, it helps you align quicker because it opens, accelerates the energy, and amplifies it so that when you have accelerated, amplified energy, you can absorb it, right? So that's what I'm doing a series of workshops about, is to get a set of tuning forks in your hands. Now, if you're like, wow, Shannon, I would love to do that, but I can't afford a set of tuning forks, that's okay. I can show you the steps, the techniques, the protocols that you would use with a set of tuning forks, but you can use them with your hands, your fingers, right? Right. So I'm going to show you both ways, how to do it without tuning forks, and then how to do it with tuning forks. Yay, we love our tuning forks. We can do so many things with them. So they're a very good investment. And I offer them on my website as well as through my courses.lunarladies.com. So you go to lunarladies.com, click on offerings, you'll find it there. And on my lunarladies.com page in the offerings section, which is the store, there's an opportunity for you to pay for that in 4 payments. Now, the workshop itself is only $44. And then you get access to the replays, and they're yours for life. And I create handouts. I have the live workshop, which is an hour, and then we'll stop and we'll have a half hour for Q&A. And then all that is yours as a replay available after the workshop, plus a PDF handout to help support you to put all the information you're learning into your daily healthcare, self-care routines. Now, you also can buy a set of tuning forks that come with an activator, and I give you the workshop for free. Right? So that's $144. So $144 for a really good set of forks that you'll take them to the grave. I mean, they're good, and give them to the kids, right? They don't go out of tune. They're a great investment. And throughout the workshop series, I'll be teaching you so many ways to use them. And then you're going to use them and go, oh my God, this happened. And you're going to teach me, like, whoa, I didn't realize that. That is so cool. Let's add that to our basket of knowledge, right? So on the website, there's you can do it through payments through Zip, and you can do the workshop for $44. And if you need to do 4 payments of $11, you can do that. Or you can get it with a set of tuning forks, and I give you the workshop for free, and that's $144. You can also find this available at courses.lunarladies.com, and you can buy it there as well. And yeah, it's so exciting. So today, what I want to let you know, a fun thing you can do right away. So I was looking at, for the workshop. So the workshop itself, the first one's going to be April 2nd. And that's celebrating the new moon in Aries, which is the new zodiac year. I'm going to be teaching a spring cleansing, recharge your body protocol. And it's going to be helping you integrate solar flares, right? And we're going to do a zodiac new year intentions and how you can amplify those with sound. And then you're going to walk away with a body flow for solar flares, right? So you're going to get a spring cleansing, revitalize the body, awareness and points and how to use the forks. Then we're going to use our forks on our attention so that we can amplify that to help that, move the energy in our life. And then I'm going to give you another body flow for solar flares. When they come, you're like, oh, let me take out my handout. I remember I took the workshop. And then I want you to do those body flows when we have an incoming CME, right? And then, of course, here in Lunar Ladies, I will say, oh my gosh, heads up, buttercups, CME's coming. And then you'll have your workshop and you're like, that's right, I know what to do. And then you do your protocol. And then you're like, okay, I can smooth sail through this CME event. So that's our first workshop. It'll be April 2nd. It's $44. And you can also buy a set of tuning forks if you don't have them and get the workshop for free. And I'll post links where you can find that easily on lunarladies.com as well as courses.lunarladies.com. Yay! So let's do something fun for Moon Day. So the moon rules is our core root self. And in astrology, moon rules the sign of Cancer, and Cancer rules the belly and the breast, so the way we nurture ourselves. And as I was looking through, different stones and cool things that I could add for the workshop, one of them I came across was chrysoprase, right? So if you have some chrysoprase, it's a very beautiful green healing stone, right? And what's the green chakra? The heart chakra. Where's the heart chakra? Right there in the Cancerian moon energy of how we nourish ourselves, right? So what I'm going to do is put the chrysoprase right here on my heart chakra. And I'm going to take my tuning fork. I hit it on my activator so it's ringing. And I put it right there. Right there. And so it's clearing. So this is a way I like to bring my sound healing in a multi-dimensional fashion. I layer it. So I have one layer is sound, second layer is the stone, third layer is the chakra. So now I have a multi-dimensional healing activation happening. I have Om 136.1 tuning fork. I have a chrysoprase stone that I got from Irma K at Bright Star. And I have my heart chakra. The fourth layer you can put is your intention. So today I want to activate, how do I nourish myself? What do I need? What do I need to nourish myself? I breathe into that space. And what's really interesting about this, as opposed to if I didn't use the stone and I just did this, I feel it right, centralized right in my heart chakra. But when I put the stone there, I feel it in my belly and I feel it in my womb. So when you start to layer things, right, you begin to amplify their effect. And if you're feeling low energy, especially if you're feeling sadness about anything in your life or maybe even the state of the world, put chrysoprase or a green stone. I've got malachite, I've got apatite, all kinds of beautiful stones. And if you don't have a tuning fork, do this. You can run energy through your hands, because your hands have lots of chakras. You can run Reiki, and you can put it on here, or you can touch it, you can tap it. And then you can just tone the frequency or the sound of Om. So, and then of course, go inside, your eyes are closed, bring your attention to the heart chakra. You can hold it and sing Om, chant Om. But when you take my workshop, I teach you the Bija mantra, and every chakra has a seed syllable tone. And the seed syllable tone for the heart chakra is yum, like yummy. So let's do a yum. When we can do it with tapping if you need activation, or you can just hold. So let's take a nice deep breath in and sound the Bija mantra tone for the heart chakra, which is yum. Okay, so yum. It's already working. Yum, 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 yum. Ooh, I like that, yum. That's the way you can do it if you don't have a tuning fork. but I like to go for the tuning fork power because it does the work for me. Maybe I'm a little lazy, I don't know, but I really like it. So these are some of the things that I will be teaching you in the workshop. It's going to be a series of monthly workshops. So it's going to be really fun. I'm going to align them with the cosmos, with astrology, and we're going to get really into it where you can I'll teach you where you find this in your chart. So remember Aries, you have an Aries ruled house in your chart. Aries rules the head. So think about some of the astrological knowledge that you have. I'm going to be applying that to the workshop as well. So I'll post links if you're interested. Please comment. Let me know if you have any questions. It's going to be April 2nd, and I'll be doing more lives, giving more tips, talking about what is sound, what are tuning forks, why do we need it, and why do we need it now? Okay, have a happy Monday, moons in Scorpio. So you want to just be deepening your experience of how you really feel, and give yourself some outlets if things come up. Scorpio loves to do oracle card readings, pendulums. So if you're having any confusion, you can consult the cards, your favorite oracle deck, give yourself a gift. You can reach out to a friend. You can cry, take a bath. Scorpio's water, so you might be feeling things deeper than normal. Just allow that energy to flow because it's very transformative. Don't be afraid of what you feel, and definitely reach out if you need more help and support to those that you trust and you have good boundaries with. That's Scorpio medicine. All right, happy Moon Day, happy spring. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Happy to read them. But look forward to having you join me in the first workshop on April 2nd. And let me know if you need any help with doing that. Happy to be of service. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day. See you later this week for some more insights and info with the power of sound healing. Bye for now.